Hi, my name is Haley, and I am the office manager at the University Advisory Center. You are probably watching this video because we don't have very many appointments left. And so your registration date is coming up, but you got to schedule your classes and there's not an advisor to go over them with you. And so I'm just going to give you some tips for what to do in the meantime. This is not advice on what every freshman should take for their schedule, because that is not how every freshman works. But we're just going to kind of go over what to do in the meantime. So this is the register tab on MyMap. So mymap.byu.edu and the register tab. So I'm going to go down to the fall, and so you've got some idea of maybe some kind of classes you need. You've checked on your progress report. We've got a video on that to be able to see what you're missing from your GEs. You're an open major student, and so you don't have major classes to look at either. So you're just looking at your GEs. Maybe you're thinking about an intro class into a major you're thinking about. So maybe you're thinking about business. One of their intro classes is Econ 110. So maybe you're considering taking Econ 110. So Econ 110, maybe Writing 150, maybe one of the Civ classes or an arts class. So you've got them all these ideas up here, and you don't know which ones to narrow down. And so part of what is cool about the carts is that it lets you put up to 18 credits in them. And so even though you will not have to take 18 credits that you've signed up for, you can still add them, and you can still make changes all the way up until like the second week of school. So I could start adding the classes that I want to be in my cart. Maybe we'll do American Heritage, we'll add that in. And I'll pause here to just add some classes into the cart. Okay, so I've added all of my options for what classes I want to take. I've added all kinds of things in here, and my total right now is 18.5. It will not submit that 18.5, but right now I'm just working with this 18.5 to see what I've got. I have looked through all of the requirements. I've seen that some of these classes might require prerequisites, this class and this class specifically. And I also saw that this class right here has a wait list. And so there are some things in here that we'll work with and see what we got going on. So first of all, I just decide if I want to have this half credit or not, and what I want to remove from my schedule to try and register. Because even though this is only so many classes, 7 classes, it still goes above 18.5 credits, or goes above 18 credits. And so I think I'll just remove this one from my schedule, and because it has such a long wait list. I've checked the wait list before, it's like double what the class is itself. Okay, so now I've got 18 hours. I don't think I'm gonna take these 2 language classes, but I speak these 2 languages per se, and I just haven't decided yet. I think I wanna talk to an advisor. I'm thinking about going into speaking Hmong, or maybe majoring in Near Eastern Studies, or maybe I'll major in Spanish. I haven't decided yet. Or maybe I'll major in business. These are some classes for business. But I know that I want to take American Heritage. So I've restructured what I want for my schedule, whatever, and I press submit. I will consider that there are conflicts in my schedule because Econ and Spanish are conflicting on their time slot, but I've decided maybe I don't want to take those 2 in the same semester for sure, for whatever reason. Or if I just see that there's a conflict and decide that I want to change something, I will find another section that fits my schedule, maybe has a small wait list or no wait list. Okay, I'm going to submit, read through everything here, agree, read through everything here, agree, and now my cart is submitted. And so if my registration date is June 13th at midnight, that's when I can start making manual changes to my schedule. Then that means June 12th, so 6 hours before at 6 p.m., I have to have my cart submitted by then. I can make changes all the way up until that 6 p.m. Deadline for the cart. And then 6 hours later at midnight, I can actually add and drop classes into my actual schedule without needing to put it through the cart. Okay, so you've got an appointment in a day, but your registration date is the day before. And so you've got this schedule. Maybe you get waitlisted for this section of American Heritage, but you decide, you know what, I think I'm going to sign up for a different section because it has more spots open. So to do that, you can look through the class catalog and see which other ones have spots open. Like, oh, this one has a spot open and it fits in my schedule. I'll just add this one because it guarantees that I'll be in the class, and maybe I'll stay on the wait list for the other section to see if I can get in because it is my preferred time. For whatever reason, you may decide to do that. So now we're going to go back to the cart and reconsider if we're in the middle of deciding. So we're back in the cart, we've submitted it, and it's like 5 p.m. So an hour before the time that we have to have our cart submitted on June 12th, if my date is June 13th. And I look through, and the classes that are there right now don't have any wait lists. I've got my options and I'm ready to submit. Then when the semester comes around, you go to, or well, when your date passes, now you can return to MyMap and see, it will come down here because this is fall, but this is what a class looks like when it's been added to your schedule. It'll have the class itself and whatever time it's being taught. We'll also be able to see what's been waitlisted. It'll show up down about here. It should say waitlist and have a little drop down of what's the waitlist, like number, how many people are waiting, class size, which class you're waiting on. And so those will sit in an extra area down here. I'm not waitlisted for any classes, so it won't appear. And then all the ones I'm registered for are up here. And so now you're meeting with an advisor in a day, and you decide you want to make changes already. Feel free, make any changes that you feel necessary to make. If something pops out to you that you decide that you need to make a change, or you have decided on a major, suddenly it's come to you in a dream, you can start making changes right away. And then you can cancel your appointment, you can keep your appointment, whatever you need to do. I just want to reiterate that this is not a recommendation on schedule. The classes that I put in this cart are just ones that just came to my mind. This is not what you should be making your schedule about, unless that's what you decide is right for you. The advisors are excited to meet with you, and it's just hard to get in so many people at one time. And so we're excited to meet with you, and we hope that you get all the classes you need and aren't struggling with getting into the ones that you want in your schedule. As a freshman, it is hard to get into every single class and every single section that you want to coordinate with your schedule. I think with that expectation as somebody who is getting on it and not scheduling all their classes in September or something, it's hard to look at your schedule and see all the wait lists and worry about, am I gonna get in or not? And so this is a little bit of advice on how to consider if a wait list is too long or not. We'll go to that pickleball class that I had on my schedule that I said the wait list was really long. Swell 105. Okay, so this one has already filled up all the classes. And so a lot of seniors are wanting to take this basically. Seniors have their days the earliest. People with more credits will accumulate and be able to register earlier. And so we've got all 4 of these sections completely full. Some of the wait lists are almost double what the class size is, and the likelihood of getting into these classes is low. Something to also consider is that this number can change even from the time you have your cart submission deadline to the time that you'll receive an email saying which classes you've been added to. And so in that time, it's usually about 2 hours. So like 6 p.m. is the time you have to submit it by, and then around 8 or 9, you'll receive an email saying you've been added to this section of American Heritage, the one that you wanted, but you're waitlisted for these 2 classes or whatever. And so then you can make changes at midnight, but in that time, other people have added that course, of course, with their cart as well. And so you might have somehow been in the system put forward or backwards, behind somebody, above somebody. And we don't know what the exact schedule of who gets what cart submitted first, but sometimes it just happens where this waitlist size will grow and now you're a little lower than you thought you would be, or maybe you're higher, people have dropped it, great. But usually you just kind of take a look at the percentage, the ratio of class size to waitlist size. If it's more than half the class size, almost definitely you will not be able to get into that class. The likelihood of half of these people dropping is pretty low. Half of these people would have to drop, 22 of these people would drop to have to get all of these 22 people on the wait list in. If we look at a class with maybe a bigger audience, let's look at statistics. They've probably got some big lecture classes. Yeah, 600 class size. The wait list, if it's in the hundreds, is probably unlikely for you to get in, but things change. Over the summer, people could all drop out. We don't know, especially with COVID changing everything. But the percentage, there's not like a set percentage, but if there are maybe 20 people in the 600 class size that are waiting in the wait list, there's probably a pretty good chance that you could get in. Maybe a 5 to 10% ratio of wait list to class size would be a good place to consider staying on a wait list. If a class is really important to you, then you might consider staying on for even longer. In one of the other videos, we discuss what can happen if you do stay on a wait list when you're enrolled in another section of the class. Basically, if I am in this 600 person class, but I prefer to be in this class right here, the 285, then I can add myself to the wait list if this one has a wait list, which it doesn't right now. But if I get in, it will replace this class right here. You can watch the other video for more details, but just be careful with adding too many classes that you could get in with, and just keep an eye on your schedule over the summer.